Dr. James Pickney II, board-certified family medicine physician. Dr. James studied general surgery at the prestigious Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in L.A. after graduating from Baylor College of Medicine right here in Houston. He's the founder and CEO of Diamond Physicians, a concierge medical practice focused on the patient-physician relationship. Dr. James, welcome back to The Voice.
Hey, good morning.
All right, let's deal with the New York Times piece first, and then I'll tell you where your name came up last week. More pain from Obamacare, and when you've got left-wing news organizations like the New York Times reporting on it, you know it must be serious and affecting a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. It's really bad out there. You give a great example of the lady that spent $1,800 in ER cost. If she was a Diamond client, Diamond Physicians, I'm trying to get a practice down there in Houston. We've had tons of requests from Houston, but basically we pay a monthly membership fee. So this lady would have paid $195 a month to be a member, and she would have received unlimited visits, no copay, 24-hour access to her doctor, and all of your acute medications and acute procedures would be included. So if she hurt her ankle playing tennis, we have a mobile x-ray team for $150 that would have gone to her house or to wherever she was playing tennis. Snap some x-rays. I can look at them on my phone. Okay, she's got a fracture. Come up to the office. I would have put her in a splint here. There would have been no additional fee. Or if she wanted to go to a facility with an x-ray, it would have been $60. So you're looking at $60 for the x-rays, $195 a month, and then she can go to an orthopedist within 24 hours because we already have a network, and she would have paid cash about $250 for that, and I can have her an ortho boot for $20. So you're talking about, I don't know, $500 or so for the entire ordeal instead of $1,800 and having to go through to another state to see an ortho doc.
And it's not only that, it's $1,800 plus the exorbitant premium she's now paying for Obamacare policy. So you add the $1,800 out of pocket that she had to put forward, plus the monthly expenses of paying for an Obamacare policy. When you go the private sector route, which is what Diamond Physicians is, you're paying $195 a month. And then, so basically what I'm saying is that when you look at the cost savings, it far and above surpasses what is being offered through insurance. How are you able to do that?
Well, what we've done is we've cut out insurance completely. So the average physician spends about 60% of overhead just on reimbursements, trying to collect insurance dollars. And oftentimes we're receiving about 18 cents on the dollar when we do ask for a reimbursement. So we've cut all that out. We have a very lean staff. It's me, the office manager, and a medical assistant. And this is actually a two-physician practice, so I have another physician here. And that's how we keep costs down. And then I go out and I negotiate the lowest possible cost for everything. So if I need to get a CT scan for a client, it's $250. If I need to get an MRI, which is normally $4,000 to $5,000, it's $400. X-rays are $60. Cholesterol check, $6 instead of $128. And I think there's an example in that New York Times article of a lady who had breast cancer, and all of a sudden her physicians went out of network, and she was left with thousands of dollars in hospital bills. Well, I had a client with cancer, and I can get a PET scan for $1,200 instead of $9,000. So we're all about wholesale medicine, finding the lowest possible cost, and delivering the best service.
Dr. James Pickney II is of Diamond Physicians, and before we get on to where your name came up last week, I have one more question for you about, you mentioned an expansion down here into Houston. As you continue to expand and with this lean business model for getting medicine to the people, my understanding of business models is as you expand and you make up in volume, you're going to be able to probably drop your prices, or you're not, your monthly fees.
Well, our goal is to develop our own distribution center. So we want to have our own lab. We want to have our own imaging centers. And, yes, we will drop prices even more. Right now I'm negotiating with third-party vendors. Our first franchise is opening in Frisco, which is a suburb of Dallas, in April. And I've had, like I said, just a ton of interest from Houston. So I think what we can do now, if all the listeners go to diamondphysicians.com, we have a Diamond Demand page at the very bottom of the homepage where you can enter your contact info and your zip code. And we can populate this Diamond Demand map so I can show investors and physicians all over the country, hey, there is demand here. Let's put the next Diamond Physicians in Houston, and let's get this ball rolling and start saving people a lot of money.
Folks, this is how we beat the traitorous insurance companies. This is how we beat Obamacare. we bypass government and we bypass the traitorous insurance companies and we take care of things in the private sector. Trust me when I say that Dr. James and others like him around the country that are springing up, this is our best bet to keep costs under control and to basically bring excellence back to medical care, where Obamacare is taking it in the exact opposite direction. So, Dr. James, here's where your name came up last week. Speaking of Obamacare, we had a call from a couple of listeners, but Stephen was the second caller who called in after the first one called and said, "Look, I'm married now, but I wasn't. We got married, and then my spouse, or depending on which scenario you're in, with either the first caller or the second caller, one of the spouses had health care coverage. And as soon as they were married, the health care coverage dropped. Because under Obamacare, you are designated differently as a married person. You're not two individuals, you're actually one entity. So the health care policy is allowed to be dropped." One caller told me they were battling their daughter. The daughter had a serious illness. The wife had cancer. And as soon as they were married, instead of the husband being added, who was an independent contractor, instead of the husband being added to her policy, the company said, "Oh, you just got married, we're dropping your policy." So they dropped them, and they had pre-existing conditions and all of this stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to invite a lawmaker onto the program. We want to get you back and call up Stephen, this caller who went through this ordeal, and discuss what is going on here, because if it's happening here in Houston, guaranteed it's happening all over the country. But if this is as reported and it's a mechanism of Obamacare, it's just another reason why concierge medicine like Diamond Physicians is so important, yes?
It is, and it's unfortunate that the Affordable Care Act actually undermines its own foundation. It's supposed to provide health care at an affordable price, and that's accessible, but it does the exact opposite. These networks that continue to shrink limit the consumer's ability to find a doctor in network, and the out-of-pocket cost has risen tremendously. So it's done the exact opposite of what the law was supposed to do, and it's extremely unfortunate because the American people are the ones who are paying the bill. Yeah. And it's not fair, it's not right. Insurance premiums are rising faster than median incomes, and now a new study shows that almost 10% of someone's income is going to premiums and deductibles. 10%. That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Dr. James Pickney, board-certified family medicine physician. Diamond Physicians is the name of the concierge medical group practice. Where can folks go with more information again, Dr. Pickney? Go to
diamondphysicians.com. Scroll down to the end of the homepage, and there's a Diamond Demand map. Enter your contact info, and we will populate this map and try and have a Diamond Physicians in Houston in the next 6 months. All right, brother. Thank you very much. Dr. James Pickney.